What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update and fourth stimulus check update. As millions of Americans are still receiving their $1,400 stimulus checks literally today and yesterday. Let me know if you got your $1,400 stimulus check in the last 24 hours. Comment down below so that our viewers, our extended family, will know. Let us know if you got it and what bank you're with via direct deposit. Don't put any personal information or your account number or anything like that. Just the bank, Bank of America, Chase. And let us know down below in the comments. We're hoping that people on SSI, Social Security, SSDI receive their $1,400 direct payments today via direct deposit on the Direct Express card. Let us know if you got that this morning, as we're hoping that that comes through today. I'll keep you up to date with that and all of the other stimulus related news and what is on the horizon with the next package and upcoming stimulus items here. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. Don't forget to hit the like button, and let's jump right in. One of the big questions in the near future is going to be, will the vaccine be mandatory for children to go to school? As you can see here on the screen, vaccines are required for most states for schools. Vaccines that are typically required, it's a little bit different per state. Diphtheria and tetanus, hepatitis B, measles, mumps, and rubella, the MMR vaccine, polio vaccine, and the chickenpox vaccine. As you can see, there's multiple different vaccines that are required to go to school, and even pre-kindergarten and daycare, some of them. The real question is, will the coronavirus vaccine become mandatory for children to go to school, possibly as early as the next school year? Well, the Biden administration just came out and gave us a big kind of hint of what could be expected going forward, at least for teachers. The Biden education chief says that vaccines will likely not be mandatory for teachers in the near future. President Biden's education secretary, Miguel Cardona, said Wednesday that vaccines will not be mandatory for teachers in order to reopen schools. Quote, I think we've seen examples where schools can open safely and be effective, but we know that prioritizing vaccinations will only assist with that. Having the vaccination will help keep our doors open. Not only about opening schools, it's really about making sure they're open. Although President Biden has been pushing for teachers to be prioritized for vaccines, neither Cardona nor the White House believes vaccinations will become mandatory, at least for teachers. Quote, neither the president nor the vice president believe that it is a requirement, said White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki when asked if vaccinations of teachers were necessary to reopen. But seeing as how there is at least 4 to 5 different vaccines required for children in most states to be vaccinated to be able to go to school, let me know if you think the coronavirus vaccine will become mandatory for children in the future. Next up on stimulus, let's hear from Senator Elizabeth Warren, who's one of the senior most ranking Democrats in the Senate. She's also the co-author, along with Chuck Schumer, for both the $10,000 or more student loan forgiveness bill and the $200 per month Social Security increase bill. Let's hear what she has to say on rental assistance, mortgage assistance, and affordable housing in the future.
So today, millions of families are behind on their rent. Millions of families who lost jobs during the pandemic, who had their pay reduced, or who lost a loved one. Now, we fought hard to make sure those families will have access to emergency rental assistance and protection from eviction. But the fear of not being able to make rent has been a daily reality for too many families since well before the COVID-19 pandemic. Rents are high because supply is low. Ms. Yentl, right now, is there rental housing available for every family who needs it at a cost that they can afford?
No, Senator Warren, there's absolutely not. There's a pervasive and a long-standing shortage of homes affordable and available to the lowest income renters, such that for every 10 of the lowest income renter households, there are fewer than 4 apartments that are affordable and available to them.
So, in other words, this is just Econ 101. Finding adequate, affordable housing is a challenge because we have a nationwide housing shortage. One problem with the supply has been federal law. Ms. Yandel, why hasn't our country built more affordable places for people to live?
I'd say there's a few reasons. In the private market, certainly the local restrictive zoning inhibits the supply of apartments, and especially affordable apartments, and that drives up costs for everyone. For the lowest income renters, there has been an ongoing underfunding of federal investment in programs like the National Housing Trust Fund that could develop and preserve affordable apartments for the lowest income renters. And for public housing, specifically, the Faircloth Amendment limits the total number of public housing units that can be built to levels that existed back in 1999. So it prohibits any increase of public housing above units that existed back then.
So every time we talk about putting a unit of new federal housing on the market, we have to take a unit off, which means we have needlessly restricted the creation of affordable housing. So we're in a housing crisis. Is there any reason that we shouldn't repeal the Faircloth Amendment?
No, there's no reason. And just to be clear, that prohibition is on public housing units alone,
Yes.
But there's no reason. And repealing the Faircloth Amendment is part of a comprehensive solution to the housing crisis. Yes.
Okay, good. So that's at least a part of addressing that shortage. We can repeal the cap on the number of federally funded housing units. In addition, we can build more housing. Now, President Biden has called for increasing the Housing Trust Fund, a fund dedicated to building, rehabilitating, preserving, and operating rental housing. And I have a bill on this ready to go. By adding nearly $45 billion every year for the next decade in the Housing Trust Fund and making other necessary investments, my bill would create more than 3 million new housing units. Ms. Yandel, let me ask you, that's how we build new housing. But let me ask one more quick question before we quit here. And that is, about the condition of our existing stock of public housing. Is it in good shape?
So first to say, we strongly support your bill to provide $45 billion in the Housing Trust Fund. That is just what we need. And for public housing, some developments that have acquired resources to redevelop in recent years, they are in okay shape. Some are in good shape, but most of the public housing stock is not in good condition, and some of the public housing stock is really in deep disrepair. The housing stock is old, and decades of federal investment by the federal government has resulted in today where we have an estimated $70 billion of capital needs, capital repairs that are needed to stop the loss of units to obsolescence and decay, and also to restore it to livable conditions for the people who live there today and to preserve it for future generations.
Yeah, make an investment. You got to take care of what we own. I just reintroduced a bill with Representative Nydia Velázquez to do exactly that, to invest $70 billion in addressing the repair backlog. It isn't a mystery why we have an affordable housing crisis. Through decades of underinvestment and unnecessary restrictions, Congress has helped create this crisis. That means that Congress can help fix it by making serious investments in increasing the supply of affordable housing and expanding public housing for the first time in decades. We need to do this as soon as possible.
So let me know your thoughts on that. Looks like they might be getting new money to build new housing units, potentially million of them, brand new, for affordable public housing, as well as billions of dollars to repair a lot of the stuff that needs repair in the past. Yesterday, Senate Democrats introduced a bill to shield stimulus checks from debt collectors. This was done by co-sponsored by 4 different Senate Democrats. This is to try to prevent private debt collectors from being able to take your $1,400 stimulus check out of your bank account if you have a debt with private debt collectors, and to prevent them from taking it. We're hoping that we might get this bill voted on and passed here within the next day or two or anything like that. Depends on if this gets fast tracked, but this would prevent millions of Americans from getting their $1,400 stimulus checks being garnished, and would make it so it's not possible for private debt collectors to be able to basically take this money away from you for any debts that might be owed. I will keep you up to date on this. Right now, this is a proposal, and hopefully we get to see this voted on here in the near future. Just a note that they did a bill like this on the first stimulus check package, and it was supported by both Republicans and Democrats and passed, and Republicans voted for it. So it'll be interesting to see if we can have that done again this time around and kind of stop the blockade that Republicans are currently doing under President Biden and are not going to vote for anything right now underneath the new President Biden, kind of being very standoffish. We'll have to see if this can be the icebreaker bill to get Republicans on board to start voting yes on some bills. But Democrats say they're going to pass stimulus packages and stimulus checks and all sorts of stimulus bills and other bills without Republicans if it need be. In fact, Senator Bernie Sanders says for the next stimulus package, the infrastructure package, that Senator Bernie Sanders thinks that they're going to have to use the reconciliation process to pass the next stimulus package, the infrastructure package, without Republican support again, and will likely have to do that through the reconciliation process, as they're already thinking that Republicans are not going to be on board for the next stimulus package, which Republicans have typically been for, or been willing to vote yes on infrastructure packages. It's typically a Republican agenda. And if they vote no on the infrastructure package, it'll either be because they're just blockading any votes and they're just kind of voting no on everything, or they think it might be too much money, which of course they could probably use that excuse on anything, and or they won't want to have see some of the other things such as stimulus checks and possibly even monthly reoccurring stimulus checks that Democrats are already pushing to have included in the next stimulus package, the infrastructure package known as Build Back Better package. We already have dozens of Senate Democrats, well, from the Senate and from the U.S. House of Representatives, that are already pushing for not just one stimulus check in the next package, but monthly reoccurring stimulus checks in the next package. And to see support for this already is a good sign that at bare minimum we'll get at least one stimulus check in the next package if they can't get multiple monthly reoccurring stimulus checks at the best case in the next package. Also wanted to say I got this information from one of our viewers, Joya Morrison. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your first name wrong because I probably am. Says, Jimmy, I want you to know for your next video that was just announced via the government of New Jersey, so that you have it for our family and for those who are homeless and rental assistance. I can send you a link for the video. New Jersey governor official Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver and state and local officials have announced $353 million in funding to help low and moderate income households, including the homeless, through the second phase of the COVID-19 Emergency Rental Assistance Program in New Jersey. Thank you for this information. This is the type of new programs we're going to see from the second stimulus check package and the third stimulus check package coming out. We're going to see this in all 50 states, just like we've seen these stimulus checks, like we just seen passed from the state of California for low and middle income Californians, $600 stimulus checks. You get this by filing your 2020 tax returns, and if you meet certain thresholds for California, you will actually get a $600 stimulus check if you qualify under the earned income tax credits for the state of California. And we also just seen Maryland pass their own stimulus check for low and middle income Marylanders. And we're going to see a lot more of these programs like we've just seen now for the state of New Jersey with a new $353 million relief fund for New Jersey residents. As you can see here, a highly anticipated and desperately needed $353 million rental relief fund will open up to New Jersey renters who haven't been able to make payments over the last year after the pandemic upended their lives. The fund will open for applications on March 22nd at 9 a.m. on the Department of Community Affairs website in New Jersey. Probably just Google that to get the address. The program is not first come, first serve and will remain open until an adequate number of people have submitted their applications, says Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver at the press conference in Union City Tuesday afternoon. Applicants can seek 12 months of rental assistance paying for rent arrears incurred since March 13th, 2020, and potentially for future rent payments, the department said in a statement. Eligible residents must be 18 or over, qualify for unemployment or seen a loss of income relating to the pandemic, show a risk of housing instability, or have a household income below 80% of the median income. This fund could help 30,000 households in New Jersey, and that's a conservative estimate. It could be more than that. Now, there's money from the second stimulus check available for all 50 states. There's two more rounds coming for the third stimulus check and the money going to states and cities, $350 billion. We're going to see more of these programs on state and local city levels, as well as stimulus checks coming on state and local city levels like California and Maryland coming in the future. Again, this is one of the other buckets of money coming from these additional stimulus packages. I'll keep you up to date on all of these as I see them on this channel. If you know of any others coming out or just seen any coming out, feel free to email me. You can go to my YouTube channel page, go to the About section, and you'll find my email address there. Or you can leave it below down in the comments, which will help out our viewers. If you see something like that in the comments, always give that comment a like. The more likes a comment gets, the higher it gets to the top, so that more people, more of our extended family will see that. I'll keep you up to date with all these programs coming across the country as soon as I see them. And again, we're expecting millions more of the $1,400 direct deposit stimulus checks to be going out today. I'll keep you up to date on those in our upcoming videos here throughout the day. Remember, new videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll keep you up to date on the stimulus checks, when the paper checks go out, as well as everything with fourth stimulus check, the $200 per month Social Security raise, the rental assistance, the $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, unemployment, and all the different things we cover on this channel. Like I said, there's multiple different buckets of money in these packages that have already passed and more coming out in the future. So I'll keep you up to date on all of those. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. Click the bell icon after subscribing to get notifications when we go live, and share this video with your friends and family so that they know about these packages also. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. Amazon has a program where they do all the shipping of the products for you, and I teach people how to do that and how to learn the process of how to do that and replace their 9-to-5 income. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.